Hey guys, before you guys watch the video, I want to guys know we're working on this on the next stream. I stream on Friday through Sunday. If you guys want to check it out, we play art and games on stream. And yeah, enjoy the video. Here we go. Why Post Malone's abandoned hip hop? Maybe you just
Post Malone is one of the
I would say maybe he just want to do a different style of music. I mean, every artist does it. I'm saying.
biggest stars in the world right now. But what's crazy is that listeners who are just discovering him at the moment might not actually know that he started out in hip-hop. After all,
Really?
he hasn't collaborated with a rapper on any of his albums since 2022, and rarely does he ever step back into that
That's only
world
2 years.
to provide features or put on for new artists. Instead, he now makes country music. Because he came storming out the gate with grills, braids, and melodic flows, a lot of people have felt some type of way about Post's not so subtle transition into another genre. While for others, it's just proof of what they've been saying all along. It's your boy Louaista,
What?
and this is why hip-hop does not respect Post Malone. Austin Post better
Wait, what? Why? Isn't that like a natural thing when artists try and do something new? Countless artists done that in the past. Like he liked hip hop, now he likes country. He might do like country / hip hop. I don't know. I mean, Lil Wayne did like a rock album, which was like a hip hop, but it's still, you know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't feel like it's a bad idea for him to like, hey, you know what? I've done everything I can in a hip hop genre, which again, hip hop to grow on hip hop is, I gotta say, a little bit more difficult right now because it's very like. It's very polluted with a lot of like the new style of hip hop. I guess you could say like the new rappers coming out every single day with new styles. I think like if I were like Post, yeah, I'd be like, you know what? I've done a lot with hip hop. I'm ready to move on. That's
Better
me.
known as Post Malone, is a multi-platinum selling artist with nearly a decade of success under his belt. Inspired by playing Guitar Hero as a kid, Post has gone from those early days to competing and collaborating with modern country stars like Morgan Wallen, Jelly Roll, and Luke Combs. With his latest album F1 Trillion, Post doubled down on earlier experimentations with the genre and went the whole way to the point that it couldn't be called anything other than a country project. For many fans, it felt like the culmination of a journey they had been on with him for years. And this shift in sound definitely paid off, as Post would earn his highest sales since 2019 and proved his versatility continues to resonate across genres. But the Post he is today and the man he was back then are pretty unrecognizable. Because while he still straps on a guitar and sings these days, he used to rock braids and stunt like a rapper.
It's triple platinum now, so I need a bigger, more ignorant plaque. Don't need platinum plaque, congratulations, 3 times platinum. Everything is great. I'm a plaque collector now, and I can't wait to get some more.
Over time, he's gradually removed some of those parts of his public image that were uniquely hip-hop. And as for the music, he basically abandoned it completely. So the question is, did he use hip-hop to get ahead and then abandon it? Or is he just an artist who got his start rapping and is now pursuing other things? When Post first came on the scene with tracks like White Iverson and Go Flex, he created a major stir. Rocking tight braids, grills, and using lingo like saucin', his early tracks were seen as clearly in the vein of SoundCloud rap.
I did not like his early music, by the way. That's just me. I didn't like Black Iverson. I didn't like Congratulations. I didn't like any of those songs really. That's just me. I just wasn't really a big fan of that style.
Taking influence from the likes of Future and Young Thug. So much so that you would be forgiven
already
for thinking
been
he
done.
was black if you hadn't laid
Wasn't
eyes
new.
on him.
He's white. This is a question I get a lot. Everybody says, hey, I didn't know you were white whenever they see me. And then they also say, I didn't know you were so tall. I guess I look short on the internet. Short and fat. I look bulby. I think the song is great no matter what color I am. And color doesn't even matter. This is a world filled with humans and we're all humans.
Not only was Post Malone a white artist entering a predominantly black space, but he also adopted style choices closely tied to ATL and black culture. This immediately led people to believe that he was merely profiting off the culture, while his true interests may have been elsewhere. For example, one user wrote, "A collection of us view him as someone who is just using the rap genre to make money. He truly has no passion for rap at all." But as the allegations that Post wasn't really committed to hip-hop began to emerge before he even dropped the project, he really tried to make it clear that this was truly who he was, complete with a little bit of a different accent for good measure.
People want to say that I'm trying to be something that I'm not, but this is just the way that I look.
Exactly.
This is the way that I like, so it's about being self-confident in yourself, and you know, the internet's a crazy place. People can say whatever they want, and you know, people want to take you back and take you down, but you just gotta keep on going, because this is just who you are.
Now, you're not grilled up today, a little disappointed.
No, I'm sorry. I left them. They in my pocket.
Let's make something clear. A white guy wearing grills and harboring certain personality traits that you would associate with black culture doesn't immediately make someone a fraud. In Post's native Texas, you have someone like Paul Wall, who is about as embedded into hip-hop as you can get, and never ever gets called a culture vulture.
I mean, isn't Paul Wall like kind of like the, I won't say he's the inventor of grills, but he brought grills into like popularity, right? If I'm not mistaken. Yo, what up, Apocalypse? How's it going? Do you remember Paul Wall? Isn't Paul Wall the guy who started like the grills, like in hip hop, or like made it more popular or something like that? Unless I'm wrong, I feel like he was the guy.
But with Post, there were inconsistencies in his come up, as well as his views on rap that caused a lot of problems. For starters, that look he had back then wasn't always the way he presented himself. Back before he braided his hair, Austin Richard Post was covering tracks from the likes of Bob Dylan in their traditional folk format with an acoustic guitar. And even then, people wondered why he wasn't just leading with that rather than the alter ego he created for himself. Austin Post is Miley and Post Malone is Hannah Montana. Post Malone could have been a completely different singer. I'd do anything for an acoustic album from Posty. Then there was a controversy where he said the N-word in the past, further showcasing the respect he had for the culture. Just as he was beginning to take off, a video resurfaced which showed him pretty clearly using the racial slur like it was an everyday thing.
Yeah, we watched Too Cute, nigga. Yeah, we watched Too Cute, nigga.
With this footage and the blurred lines of the White Iverson music video, some rappers and cultural commentators were enraged, including Starlito and Don Tripp.
Felt like it was culture vulture-ish, and it was posturing, and it was like very close to blackface. You know, the imagery that was being portrayed. I was like, yeah, if it's truly like in homage or tribute, it just felt like something about it just kind of struck me as like a little bit like mocking.
Then there were people like Charlemagne the God, who made his disdain for Post Malone
he
very
hates
clear during
Post
an
Malone.
appearance at the Breakfast Club.
And this is his debut album, by the way. So, you know, you've heard the mixtapes and everything.
Did you listen to it? Absolutely not. I might though. Somebody did recommend it. I'm lying.
Yeah.
You tweeted once that I don't know. I don't follow you on Twitter.
Facing criticism from some corners of the culture, Post Malone made things even worse when he insisted that he wasn't truly part of hip-hop, but had only dipped his toes into the genre.
So, let me get this straight. Post Malone was already getting shit on for trying out hip-hop in making hip-hop music. He was getting shit on, say, hey, you don't belong here. So, eventually he was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'll leave, and I'll make country music. And now people are calling him a vulture. How the fuck does that make sense? Like, just think about it logically. Why the fuck would I want to stay on a culture that gets shit on all the fucking time? And then I just go to a point where, you know what, fuck it. I'm just gonna do a different genre. Let's try this new genre out. Holy shit, I made number one. I'm gonna stick with this new genre, which is country, right? So, what the fuck do people want? Answer the question, man. Answer the question. I'm calling you guys out. What do you guys want? What do you guys want? He's a vulture for if he like stay with hip hop, right? You're gonna keep shitting on him, creating hip hop music, and then he now officially a vulture because he decided to do a different genre music, where because he wasn't getting that much respect in the hip hop community as much. He's been getting called out for this, tipping his toe, whatever you want to call it. And like, what the fuck do people want? Yo, we want to keep calling you a vulture, a culture vulture, but keep doing hip hop only. Because then, if you leave hip hop, you're officially a vulture. Like, there's no win-win. There's no, bro. This is why you should never listen to like the internet like this. Like, Charlemagne the God is a goddamn idiot. No, stop it. No mames.
I'm not a rapper.
Right.
I'm an artist, but I can't rap.
You know, I just want to make music that I like to make, you know what I mean? You know? Yeah, on a new project, there's going to be country, there's going to be rock, folk, hip-hop, everything that you can imagine. No, I'm not a rapper. I'm an artist, you know. I don't make rap music. You know, I might rap, but I don't make rap music. You can't really categorize it or put me in a box or anything, you know. And I just want to be myself and, you know, keep working.
While Post Malone occasionally made statements distancing himself from hip-hop, he often sent mixed messages by continuing to engage with the genre in the public eye. Like when he found himself exiled from the XXL freshman list after the publication got wind that he was trying to move away from hip-hop. According to the editor-in-chief, Vanessa Stratton, her team was informed that he was escaping hip-hop just as soon as he entered it.
We were told by his camp that he wasn't paying attention to hip-hop so much. He was going in more of a rock, pop, country direction. Once we heard that he was going in a whole different music direction and wasn't really acknowledging hip-hop, and really once they were telling us, you know, well, going in that country direction, we were like, well, that's the message that you don't really want to be in the hip-hop world, so we're just going to let it go.
But almost immediately, Post clapped back, claiming that nothing could be further from the truth. In a tweet, he wrote, "I have a hip-hop album coming in August. I made a hip-hop album promoting my hip-hop mixtape. If you don't like me, politely fuck off. I love my fans who rock with me for the art." Although Vanessa maintained that her version of events was the correct one, and that Post was just trying to backpedal, it wasn't gonna matter soon. Because if there were still hip-hop fans debating whether Post belonged in the culture, he was about to put his foot in his mouth. In a now infamous interview, Post said the following.
If you're looking for lyrics, if you're looking to cry, if you're looking to think about life, you know, don't listen to hip-hop. Whenever I want to sit down and have a nice cry, I listen to some like Bob Dylan.
Reducing hip-hop down to just mindless party music, this was seen as a massive stain on Post's worthiness to be in.
Well, I will say in the current hip-hop that when he was doing hip-hop, he was making sense. The only one, there's only very few artists that are making conscious rap, which even people like, bro, people even shitted on it when Kendrick Lamar was doing somewhat conscious rap or not that much party music. And then when he's doing the hip hop beef between him and Kendrick Lamar, he was doing conscious rap, right? He was doing the different styles of like the way he raps, but it was conscious rap. It wasn't like party. But Drake was more like boom, like up. And then that's even one of like the main kind of criticism about Kendrick. They're like, yo, what a party like music, man. I want to bump this, dude. I don't want to like listen to it like this, and that. And then he did Not Like Us, and that blew up, right? So it's like, yes, hip hop right now don't really respect a lot of controversy. They call him corny. They call him cheesy. If you look at all the art, like, bro, there's videos upon videos about calling them corny and cheesy, about people who do conscious rap. They you know what I mean? They call Logic corny and cheesy, which he was to a certain extent. I agree, but there's some music that was like, oh, it's actually pretty cool, bro. They even like shit on 1-800, right, which is the suicide call song. They shit on that song about like trying to prevent, you know, that. And I even saw a comment at one point was like, oh, it's overplayed, man. This is corny. This is cheesy. Like, damn, really? Holy shit. All right. And you know, that's what they even said, like the Hobson's, right? The Hobson's corny and cheesy because he doesn't do a lot of like party like music and stuff like that, right? And so what Post Malone is pretty much saying around that era, especially around this right now, it is pretty much all party, and it's not in your like, damn, I could really relate to this shit. You know what I mean? Right now, hip hop doesn't have that much right now. It does in some cases, like in underground hip hop, but not even underground hip hop is still not there too as well. But it's like they're there, but they're not really there, especially in the mainstream. Look at all the mainstream music that's coming out right now in hip hop. You probably will find one or two songs that are like, oh shit, all right, you sound like a good ass story. I can actually relate to this shit. But most of it just boom, pirate up, drugs, that kind of stuff, right? It's still continuing that. So I agree to him. I agree with Post Malone in the current style of hip hop right now. Because even back then, it was gangster rap, it was conscious rap, it was storytelling, it was all of that. But then it got shifted for all these years, and it just became just drill music. You know, you really think drill music wants to talk about their feelings? You know what I mean? Like, I don't even know what the era of hip hop is right now, but yeah, like that's just my take on it. I agree with him around this era of hip hop. There's only a few people that do conscious rap that want to tell a story and make you feel something. But hip hop is not like that right now. Not at all.
Culture, and gave people like Charlemagne the God even more reasons to pile on him.
Then he don't respect the culture. Like if he had more respect for the culture and actually appreciated hip hop and talked like he appreciated hip hop, I would probably respect him more. But when he said shit like, when you want to feel something, don't listen to hip hop. Fuck out of here. We don't listen to your hip hop.
Even for his fellow white people in the culture, he was beginning to make them look bad, and this meant that in their mind, he had to go.
Post Malone.
Really?
I'm done giving you passes, bro. You got a pass for braids, which is not common. You got a pass for the N-word thing that happened on Snapchat. Either leave hip-hop and go make other music in another genre, or start showing respect for hip-hop. Hip-hop has been the soundtrack of every important day of my life, and many people like me.
Suddenly getting slaughtered by even those who tolerated him, Post felt the need to come out and defend himself once more to try and clarify what he meant.
You know, a lot of people saying that I don't appreciate hip-hop or I'm taking advantage of hip-hop. My last hip-hop album was hop. My next hip-hop album is fucking hip-hop. I love hip-hop. I make hip-hop. I want to take this genre, you know, and stretch it so far that people who may not listen to it, listen to it. And, you know, want to listen to the new artists whenever it's going on and just take everything for what it is. But, you know, what I was trying to say is that a lot of people, except for a handful of artists, are saying the same shit. They're not saying anything super meaningful.
That's exactly what I said.
Years old. I have not had all the life experience in the world to talk about the most meaningful shit. I just sing about what I have gone through, what's going on in my life, and what I want to sing about. Never once did I say that I don't appreciate hip hop.
But even after he tried to clear his name, Post couldn't let.
It's kind of like you can't criticize hip hop or you can't criticize what's going on with the genre. Like right now, like how many times people have been saying hip hop is trash right now? Hip hop is no longer number one, right? People have been saying that for a while, and I understand why they're saying it. Because it's like it's no longer a unique thing. We got like artists, like no offense, but we got like artists like freaking Sexy Red and Ice Spice. You know what I mean? Like
let it go and kept going out of his way to claim that he wasn't taking advantage of the genre.
There's a lot of people that wanted to talk down on me and laugh at me and call me a culture vulture and say that I don't appreciate hip hop and I don't do nothing for the culture. And they always say, congratulations.
It got to a point where his own fans wondered if him refusing to accept the criticism was doing more harm than if he just left it alone. Post, please stop. You make yourself look stupid with every statement regarding this topic. You say that you don't care about labels and just want to make music. Okay, then do that. Stop discussing it. With so much distaste for him in the culture, it became apparent that he would never be completely accepted as part of hip-hop. However, that didn't stop him from managing to make a whole lot of hits within his boundaries while gradually nudging towards other genres. In fact, this shift has been happening since his second album, with many pointing out that even its title moved away from the ATL rap tropes he initially leaned on. This change in direction made it clear that Post was distancing himself from the hip-hop image that helped him rise to fame.
I love the title of this, Beer Bongs and Bentleys. It's gotta be, dude, you're going into country if you're coming up with titles like that.
Yeah, man, you know, I wanted something that really, you know, I guess encapsulated, you know, everything that I'm about. You know, I'm still a good old boy at heart, but, you know, I finally got some money, so we, you know, like to go crazy sometimes. So.
Right. Right, so you've made it, you're a success now in hip hop, so you figure you got a little money, you can take a chance and maybe do some country.
It's around this time that he started getting pretty flustered when asked about his intentions.
I don't even want to call it a transition, man, because I love music, but I just want to make it, you know, stuff that my fans can relate to at the same time.
You know what? It could also be just a simple thing, by the way, which is not that deep. It could just, like I said in the beginning, it could just be him trying something new. That's it.
You know, really stretching the boundaries of what hip-hop is and what hip-hop is supposed to be. And
today, 2018's Beer Bongs and Bentleys remains Post's best-selling album of all time, scoring his biggest hit with a track that was unmistakably hip-hop. Co-written by Joey Badass, Post and 21 Savage's Rockstar was one of the most streamed songs of the year and was catchy enough to get some people on his side. Even Joe Budden, who was initially a harsh critic of his, came to his defense.
You know, we both hated him when he first came out, right? We said that.
And we thought he smelled disgusting.
He looked like he smelled like shit. Post Malone don't look like he smelled like shit if you don't meet him. The song is great, right? And I was just thinking so long because we wrote him off with the White Iris and shit, but clearly we were wrong about that. Yeah, he might be one of the newer acts that shows some signs of having some staying power. And what I mean is he continues to produce like big sounding records. Even if they don't end up being big records, they sound like big records. He has shown the ability to continue to produce that White Iverson potential record. I fuck with him. I fuck with Post.
Complete with features from Ty Dolla $ign, YG, Nicki Minaj, and Sway Lee, Beer Bongs and Bentleys established him as a superstar. A project which sold over 700,000 in its first week of dropping. The album's success meant that he had 4 tracks on Billboard's year-end Hot 100, including Psycho, Better Now, and I Fall Apart. Suddenly, he was at festival headliner status, and it was his position in the realm of hip-hop that got him on those grand stages. By the time Hollywood's Bleeding dropped in 2019, it became crystal clear that Post was pushing for that hybrid sound more than ever before. However, it seemed like he was still attempting to strike a balance between genres. So when he had Ozzy Osbourne feature on his project, the song also featured Travis Scott to prove he still had hip-hop in his veins. Yet, critics still had their reservations about what his goal really was and whether rap should still be welcoming him.
But to come into hip-hop, build it up, and then bounce, you know, is kind of like, I just don't understand. Where were the quote-unquote gatekeepers? Like, why are hip-hop sites even covering this guy? He hasn't been hip-hop, but they cover him like a hip-hop artist. It's one thing to be Miley Cyrus and to have features, but they cover him like he's hip-hop, like he's a hip-hop artist. I was like, nah, man. Like,
I disagree. He is a hip-hop artist. He started as a hip-hop artist, and he changed genres. Bro, it's like the same shit as fucking Drake. He's not a hip-hop artist. He's the chameleon of music at this point. He doesn't really do a lot of hip-hop. I don't consider him as hip-hop, but he started as a hip-hop artist. You know what I mean? This is the first, like, what? The album they're talking about is just him going hybrid, right? And that's what I don't understand. It's like, bro, is it really that much of a big fucking deal? Decided to go hybrid on this specific album? Like, you know what I mean? Like, am I tripping here? Because again, also before all of this, he's getting shit on of saying, "Hey, bro, you don't belong in hip hop." So it's like, you know what? I kind of just want to do what I want to do, and I'm just gonna experiment what I want to do. Right at that point, right? And not like, what the fuck? Again, I'll say it again. Why? What the fuck would he want to stay in a community that does not accept them? Bro, like Eminem is hip hop, right? And a lot of people hated him, and still hate him to this day. But he want to stick with hip hop, right? And him, in his case, he was like, you know what? Let me try out some different stuff. Let me try some hybrid stuff. Let me try some country stuff. And that is okay. It's not like the world's like, holy shit, you owe us so much. Like, nobody owes you, like, no artist owes you shit. You're the one who decided to buy the album in the first place. You don't want to buy his newest album. That's your choice. You know what I mean? It's not that big a deal.
Like, we have Future. That's good enough, and Future's way better than this.
This was just the beginning. Because after he dropped 12 Karat Toothache in 2022, Post has made every attempt to transition out of the genre for good. And it's worth mentioning that he does so as the artist with the most diamond certified singles in history. Where that album had plenty of guitar parts, it also featured the likes of Roddy Ricch, Doja Cat, Gunna, and others. But since then, his latest projects have been complete departures from the genre. First, he dabbled in synth pop, before finally landing where he seemingly always wanted to be, in country music. In hindsight, this move not only distanced him from hip-hop, but also validated much of the criticism he had faced along the way.
And if you're white in hip-hop, you have to contribute to black culture in some sort of fashion. Otherwise, you are simply repeating history by coming in to black culture, using that as a medium to steal and profit for self. I think it's also about the music. You can't come into this from the vessel of hip-hop and use the clothes and the language and the music and then go off and start doing something.
It's weird.
Are you talking about Post Malone?
No, I mean, that's a fair example because I do think that that's you know, you come in with braids and golds to the point people are thinking you're mixed, and now, you know, you drink Bud Light and wear cowboy boots. But yeah, I just think certain things like that, you know, those are fair critiques.
I get the critiques, but it's also could be like, hey, you know what? My style changed. I don't feel like wearing this anymore. I don't want to play with you no more. You know?
As far as like, yo, it feels like you came in and used hip hop because it's the coolest genre and the coolest look and aesthetic. You used it to propel yourself to the forefront, and then you reverted back to who you really were.
From there, people who beefed with him at the beginning, like Starlito, felt vindicated.
And it's weird that you say that his music changed. I feel like everything that I spoke on kind of came to fruition. Like after that song, and I mean a couple other songs, yeah, some smash hits with rappers and all of that. Kind of tiptoed his way out of the hip hop culture.
Even when Austin dropped, fans who genuinely supported Post but were deeply rooted in hip hop culture began to question if the criticisms held some truth.
I hope I don't lose my Post fan card for asking this question. Is this a case of somebody using hip hop to get to a point and now pivoting off? I'm just asking because this seems like this isn't a hip. Every project he's put out had at least hip hop features. It was considered a rap album, and now it's like I've gotten to a super megastar point. I don't need hip hop no more.
Even an ardent defender of him like Joe Budden has to concede that while he's moved on, there was a clear benefit to him using hip hop to begin with.
Rap is an entry point. That's all. It's all it is. So they don't trick me with what's in the bio. It has to stay there.
Gotcha.
Because you'll lose us.
Yeah.
But what you go on to become, totally different.
Now established to the point that he feels comfortable to shed the skin of the gold fronts and braids once and for all, Post has now transitioned into the country genre with such force that it feels like he'll likely never leave it. As Post moves away from hip-hop, he has revealed that the backlash he faced early in his career haunted him, eventually leading him to turn to alcohol as a way to cope with the controversy. In recent interviews, he opened up about the lasting effects of everything that was said about him.
I am chill. I'm just working on this Dia de los Muertos painting right now. I've been working on YouTube, and I've been working. What have you been up to?
As for him, he was just trying to make music.
He was called a culture vulture, a one-hit wonder. How did that feel to you?
It sucked.
Yeah.
I was a kid.
1920. How did you deal with it?
Drink a lot.
Yeah. Did you take it personally? Because
Absolutely. It's hard not to.
Still, even after escaping out into the world of Nashville nights and cowboy hats, Post is still fielding questions about his connection to hip-hop and insists that it's still as firm as ever. Talking to the New York Times now, Post said, "Genres suck. It's easier to catalog music that way, but at a certain point, and the cool thing is that it's moving toward."
Well, I think also if you stick with one genre, you could very limit yourself, especially if you want to do other things and just do what you feel like you want to do. I mean, I guess he's always been honest about since he started. I guess people just didn't been listening. I'm an artist, not a hip hop artist. I guess people been ignoring that. So I don't know. I've been so shitty facing hardship, spiraling out. But I'm just now getting my foot. Oh, that's good, dude. Like at least like getting back into the game, getting back to chill life, that kind of stuff. Yeah, man, I've been there, dude. I mean, recently. I mean, like, look at the scars. So. Yeah, so I mean, I get it, man. Shit happens.
Towards this, why can't you mix all this together and make something that's truly unique to you? I've still got my chains. I love my Maybach. That's still me. Everything was always me. I just don't want to spend all my money in the strip club because I want to be in the woods. 4 years ago, I was on a rough path. It was terrible. Getting up, having a good cry, drinking, and then going about living your life. And then whenever you go to lay down, drinking some more and having a good cry. Hearing that, this is no doubt going to make some people feel bad for how Post was treated in hip hop. Because at the end of the day, one of the things that's always been on Malone's side in his career is that even if you don't like his music, you can't deny that he seems like a very nice guy who's always got time for his fans.
These are so sick.
For you.
I saw them on stage. I was saying, I didn't want to like fuck them up. Like on stage, so I wanted to make sure I could come and grab them.
Okay.
You're a legend. These are for me.
Yeah.
You are fucking so sick. Thank you so very much. That's so sick.
You take mine, I take yours.
Oh, is that the trade?
Yeah.
I didn't know it was a trade.
Yeah.
I'll have you know, these hoes stink, probably. Austin, nice to meet you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm always gonna
Besides, he's still giving
Aw.
props to some of those
And he's a
who
magic
influenced
player.
him. Most
He's a nerd.
importantly of all, King Slime.
Young Thug for me is my favorite lyricist and melody maker like of all fucking time. Like I remember when he like the first song I heard was it was him and Pee Wee Longway. It's a song called Loaded. And I was like, what the fuck? These melodies, like insane. Like he goes to such crazy fucking places that free Young Thug, by the way. He goes to such
Wish he's out, by the way, in probation, so he can't really do much right now. He's in 12 years of probation. Goddamn, bro. Thanks. I've been it's been difficult. I had a huge wake up call, and it was what I needed, sadly. I mean, at least it happened. At least that wake up call happened. You know, at least that wake up call happened. Like, here's the thing. At least it's like path to recovery, whatever it was. I don't get too personal, but at least it's like. At least the right path, it's already like, all right, I got where I need to go, kind of thing, you know. Oh, 15 years. I thought it was 12. Even before I knew he played Magic, I loved him once he knew he skyrocketed into my personal chart. Yeah, the thing is, like, Post Malone, I said it before, it's like, one, why the fuck would he want to stay with a genre that he's getting shit on all the time? You have to continue to defend himself, right? Number two, it could just be a simple, hey, I want to try a different genre. Holy fuck, you're gonna kill me? Like, you know, like, are we gonna, like, are you gonna judge every other artist that goes to different genres? Like, what? Are you kidding me? Like, that's just the most, like, dumbest thing ever, man. So dumb, dude. So freaking dumb.
crazy fucking places where the natural mind, like my melody mind doesn't go. I would go down one place and he would go like 2 octaves up. And I was like, what the fuck, dude, this is mine. And so fun to listen to.
But while this makes some people lay off, not everyone is so sympathetic and feels like he needs to still own how he used hip hop.
My problem with Post Malone is that, like, it looks like he used hip hop right until the moment where he didn't need it anymore, and then he.
Bro, Adam 22 uses hip hop all the fucking time, all for his own basic benefit. I still believe that Adam 22 does not listen to fucking hip hop or like the new artists or anything like that. That's just my opinion. I don't believe it. Also, Adam 22 is the last person to judge someone else as well, and he has done. I personally believe Post Malone has done more for hip hop than Adam 22 will ever do in his whole goddamn life.
He said, all right, fuck this shit. And then now he puts out a project, and I don't think you really are going to see a rapper on his next project, you know? Like, I don't think, he gets the he's one of the only artists featured on the Taylor Swift album. Like, yeah. he's literally, gotten bigger than hip hop, but I wish that he would.
That's a lie. Kendrick Lamar was in Taylor Swift called Bad Blood. I mean, I'm just saying. So I don't know what the fuck he's talking about right there. Culture, total vulture culture, or you mean vulture, right? Or culture, total culture.
Is Ice Spice on there too? Bro, he should have a fucking 4-Bat song on the next album, or he should have a Drake feature, or something. Like, he should keep his foot in the door to make it clear, yo, I wasn't just culture vulturing you before. I really fuck with this shit.
That doesn't make sense. If it doesn't make sense to add to the, sorry. So he's saying, yo, even though your new album has nothing to do with hip hop, well, you should still add a hip hop artist just to say thank you. But it's not genuine. You just you could come out saying you're thanking them. Don't you want Post Malone, like he said he's always been an artist, like, yo, I want a hip hop artist where it makes sense for my album, for my project, where it makes sense, not just because it's they think. I hate this shit, dude. Bro, should as a Mexican, should I be like, yo, if you want to use corrido style or sound or lyrics and stuff like that, and you no longer want to do corridos and you want to go into more of American kind of music, right? Let's just say that, right? And then so you're saying that every album has to have some type of corridos in it? Like, what the fuck does that even mean? No, you can do whatever the fuck you want in music. The art is about free expression. fuck off. Like what? I hate that mindset. Me personally, in general, in creative, I really hate it because it limits us creativity wise. And this what is like also what we add on like where it's like pandering and it's just like added just to be just to like check mark a box. That's the thing that was going on with the entertainment industry right now. You know, when they're adding certain things just to check a box, but it's not adding genuinely. That's pretty much what he's saying. Hey, even though it's not gonna be genuine, just add an artist. Just add an artist in your album, and even though it's not genuine, even though it may not even make sense, let's just add them. Fuck that. Doesn't make sense. Like what the fuck? Like, are you serious? Like, man, it's not even that deep, dude. It's just artists making art. There shouldn't be a limit to it.
Shit, because it only helps you to have some fucking rap appearances on your project to give it like an additional boost of appeal, you know?
Even do like some alternative type song with that Mexican OT. Keep it like Texas.
Do something cool as fuck. Exactly.
That would be raw.
What doesn't help is that he is entering country music far more respectfully than he chose to barge his way into hip-hop. Because according to people like country guitarist Derek Wells, he has basically done everything he can to come in the right way. In this moment that the genre is having, a lot of us are used to so-and-so is making a country project now. And we've seen the good, the bad.
So, did she shit on Beyonce? I just realized, didn't she release the country album not that long ago? Oh, Beyonce is a vulture culture. Boo! Fuck you, Beyonce.
And the ugly when it comes to those. I've watched him very much ask for permission to be in this genre. He's doing everything right. In the same New York Times article, his producer Charlie Handsome seems to think it was always going to go this way from the start.
By the way, maybe also he's probably want to get it in the right way because they call him a culture vulture in the first part of hip hop. You know what I mean? So it's like, okay, you know what? I don't want to be called that next. And if I want to get into this genre, let me see if I can like get on this more right compared to the first genre. It could be as simple as that. Like, oh, okay, so you learn this lesson, quote unquote lesson.
Start. I used to say to people, he's a reverse Taylor Swift. He's going to start as a rapper, become a huge pop star, and after that, he's going to be a huge country artist. Even Lil B saw this coming in October of 2017 when he wrote, Post Malone is slowly turning into a white dude, LOL. He's pushing. Give it a few years. He's gonna be full country. Now firmly locked into his new lane, Post Malone is likely going to continue to be a superstar and make platinum selling records for years. But by the looks of it, the controversy over how he got there and the way he's disposed of the culture since isn't going to go anywhere either. So while he'll keep earning hundreds of accolades and praise, it seems like one that might elude him is hip-hop's unreserved respect. Unless he finds a way to prove to the world that people like Future and all his hip-hop influences that he made a career off truly matter as much to him as Bob Dylan ever did. As always, it's your boy Louaista, and I want to thank y'all for watching today's video.
He doesn't need to do that. I hate that fucking thing, dude. Hey, you have to be thankful for what you did, so you have to get these artists into your album or music, or you have to continue taking them for your whole life. No, fuck that. Once you move on, you move on. That's just my opinion. Like, I don't believe this whole, like, you gotta continue to think. No, fuck that, dude. I hate that. I really do hate that. Yeah, at this point, hip-hop doesn't expect anyone. Like, what? I'm actually stunned to see Adam 16 seriously call anybody a culture vulture with a straight face. Wow, that man's lack of awareness does stay in absolutely cheek of it. Bro, see what I told you. What I tell you. I told someone how's Beyonce a culture vulture. She's American and country. He's like what the fuck? Like, I'm just saying that, like, people should be allowed to try out other cultures and do a product based on those cultures, right? If they're not disrespecting it, they're not making fun of it. They're just doing actual genuine music, right? Or even in food at this point, right? Like the guy, Saint Shin guy, right? Who criticized people for making boba like tea but more healthier or something like that. Like it was less sugar or what I last remember. But anyways, he talked like, oh hey, this feels very disrespectful of my culture. What the fuck? Once you put out to the public, everybody's allowed to take that and spin it and remix it. That's how we get some crazy creative foods in the food industry. That's how we get crazy good food products in the industry. No, not everything's all good. No, but you get the idea, right? You get the idea of like Cheetos, for example. So if like a Latino never made hot Cheetos because again he wanted more spicy chips, spicy snacks, right? So he took the American or wherever it's made, I don't know what's really made, but American Cheetos, and like, you know what? We can make this into spiciness. We can make this into hot Cheetos, whatever. Like, add some spiciness into this Cheetos, and it's like it became very popular, right? The hot Cheetos, right? So it's like that's a remix of cultures, in my opinion. You got to check an archive it? Yes, I did, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't too bad. Yeah, so that's just like my opinion. Maybe it's really stupid as fudge. I don't know, but yeah, yeah. I'll explain it right now. By the way, we're almost done with this reaction video. By the way, we're talking about Post Malone. Yeah, Jelly Roll did the same thing. He went from rapping with Lil Wayne in 3 6 months to like to now country. Like what the fuck? It's like let them be at this point, you know.